Hello guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. This is Gifty here again. If today is the first time seeing my face, my name is Gifty. I mostly share content about anything in helping you in relocating to Canada and life in Canada in general. So guys, I'm back again as I recently told you in my heads up content this morning that I will be bringing video or content on the express entry. This is it. So you don't need to skip this video, you don't need to go anywhere. Please stay with me. I also think my voice is a little bit not clear. I'm having cold because I just started my placement. I'm doing some compounding of medications and everything, so I think I'm having some inflammations or allergic reactions or whatever, I don't know. So I'm running nose and a whole lot of things. So if my voice is not that clear, please forgive me and let's wait for a healing. Okay, so guys, basically the express entry is something that you can try whilst you are probably waiting for your study permit approval, or maybe you are now gathering your proof of funds or whatever to apply for the study permit. Okay, so guys, yes, today I look a little bit messy because it's like 10 a.m. here and I'm already going to bed. Just with my installation, because tomorrow when I wake up from bed I don't need to do all this installation. So I just did this so that tomorrow I'll just unveil everything and get the styling done so I can go to work very fast. So here we are. So guys, as said earlier, the express entry is something that everybody can try. And remember, you are not moving to Canada as a student, as a visitor, as whatever. You are coming to Canada as a permanent resident. Okay, so if you want to apply for a study permit and move to Canada, and you have a dream of applying for your permanent residence, you will still use the express entry at the end of the day. Okay, if you want, like, your dream is to have a permanent stay in Canada, you have to use the express entry. So why not you using it now that you are back home and you are thinking about when to relocate to Canada, you are gathering your documents, or you are probably thinking about your proof of fund and other stuff. Why not try this and see if you'll be lucky? Okay, so because it's just the requirement that you need to meet and everything will be just applying online. So I think it's a very good idea, and I realize I can bring a content on that, so that if you are here and you want to try the express entry stream, we all know that it kind of takes time, but learning how you can boost your score and your points in the pool can help you get your nomination to apply for your PR. So it's all about being strategic. We all don't know the stream that we are going to use to arrive in Canada. I remember before I was about to travel, I tried so many countries, but it didn't work out. So we all have a different ways that we might relocate to wherever that we want to go. So maybe your stream might be this. So I just thought it wise to bring you this content. So please don't skip this video. I'll be talking about the requirements for the express entry, what you should do to boost your score, because I don't want to go like combine everything together, because I'll be rushing. I want to take my time and make it step by step, so you know where you are starting from and where you are ending. So please don't skip this video. Try and subscribe, share, and please give me your comment to let me see how I'm doing, and try as much as possible to like for me so that you too can recommend me for other people. So guys, please stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Okay guys, so let's get everything started. When we talk about the immigration program for the express entry, we have 3 categories of it, and apart from the 3 categories, we also have like an extra category that you can apply whilst you are even in the 3 categories. Okay, so I'll mention all this. So the first 3 categories are: 1, the Canadian Experience Class, the CEC. So the Canadian Experience Class are mostly for those that have their job offers in Canada. Okay, so if you have experience like back home, you cannot use this stream. Okay, so your job experience should be in Canada. Okay, so education doesn't count as this, but if you have education, gives you some points. We will talk about all those things later in this video. So the Canadian Experience Class is for skilled workers with eligible Canadian work experience. So you have to note that. The second one is the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So when we talk about the Federal Skilled Worker Program, this is the program that if you are back home, like outside Canada, you can use this stream. So if you, I know most of my viewers are like outside Canada, so you have to be thinking about this stream the more, because it's for skilled workers with foreign and Canadian work experience. So if you are in Canada, you can still use this stream to apply, but you have to try the Canadian Experience Class to see your points in that. Then you come and try the Federal Skilled Worker Program stream to see which one has a higher point, because you need the points to get your CR score to be nominated to apply. So you have to consider both of them to see which one that works best for you. But if you are back home, the only one you can consider, or if your work experience is from like international work experience, a foreign work experience, you can only consider the Federal Skilled Worker Program, or you can consider the third one that I am coming to talk about. So the third one is the Federal Skilled Trade Program. So the Federal Skilled Trade Program is one of the federal streams, just like the second one, but this is mostly good for those that have a trade, like a skilled trade. Okay, all those transportation, construction, and all those skilled works, cook, bakers, all these people, they are all skilled, chefs and all these people, because it's a skilled work. So it's about this stream. So we will go much deeper into each and every stream. Okay, the fourth one that is not actually part of this stream, but will give you marks if you are able to apply and you get nominated, is the Provincial Nomination Program. So the Provincial Nomination Program is a program that you can consider applying whilst you are in the various 3 programs that I mentioned earlier. So it gives you like 500 points. So in case I am in the Canadian Experience Class stream and I apply for the Provincial Nomination Program, I will get like 500 points to apply, to add it to my CR score in the Canadian Experience Class. So let's say I have maybe 400 in the Canadian Experience Class as my points or my CR score, and I apply for Provincial Nomination Program and I get approved, I'll get like 500 adding to my 400 to make it like 900. Okay, so that will help you to be nominated for your PR application very, very fast. I don't know if you get me. So it helps you to boost your CR score no matter what marks you have in your CR score. If you get your provincial nomination score, it boosts you to get like the invitation to apply for your PR. So guys, these are like the programs under the express entry stream. So each and every one actually have a specific requirements, okay, but in general their requirements are the same, but just that under each stream the requirements differs a little bit, okay. So in this video I would like to start talking about the general requirements that you need for each and every one, so that if we get the individual streams or program, I'll go much deeper into the like expectation for the specific things that you need under this general requirements. I will try as much as possible to make sure that this video is not too long to get you much confused. So if I'm not able to touch on any of the programs into detail, we will get in my next content. So kindly stay tuned and let's get everything done here. So what are the requirements that you need for your express entry programs, the 3 programs? Your first requirements that you should consider is your work experience. So is your work experience from back home, or is it in Canada? Is it a skilled trade? You should consider that. So under the work experience, the general requirements as well is that you should get a total hours of 1,560. Okay, so we have 2 types of the job experience. You can either use a full-time job, which you are needed to accumulate 30 hours a week for 12 months. Okay, that will sum up to like 1,560. Then you can either use a full-time job, a part-time job, which is like 15 hours for 24 months, which will still sum up to 1,560. So that is the basic requirement under the work experience, okay, the general requirements. But under each work experience for each program, we have specific things that you need to do. So when I'm taking each programs like specifically separately, then we will talk about those, but for now is the general one. This is why you should expect, this is why you should be thinking about for either of the stream. I need to get work experience. My work experience should be within like 1,560 hours. For either full-time job, you have to get 30 hours per week. So if you work 50 hours a week thinking that you want to rush up to get 1,560 hours in maybe 6 months, then hey, no, they are not taking any extra hours. They are just taking 30 hours a week. That is what will be counted. If you are doing a part-time job, you can do 2 part-time jobs to sum up to 30 hours a week, maybe 15 here, 15 here, 30 hours a week, which will help you build, but they only count 30 hours, nothing more. So either full-time job or part-time job, they only count like 30 hours. So keep in mind. The second thing that you should consider under your work experience is that it should be under a NOC code. Okay, so looking into the NOC code, I will talk about that. The NOC codes, we have like a specific national occupation classification, that is the NOC for each work. Okay, I'll show you how you can check that if you want to know the NOC that your occupation falls under. So under the NOC we have tiers. So the tiers are the responsibilities under the NOC. So we have tier 0, we have tier 1, and we have tier 2, and we have tier 3. Okay, so under tier 0, you should expect that like the managerial roles there. So if you read here, it says that your skilled work experience means that you've worked in one or more of these NOC training, education, experience, and responsibilities categorized under tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Okay, so That is one thing you should consider under the work experience. The next thing that you should consider is that your work experience shouldn't be a voluntary job. It should be a paid job. Your work experience shouldn't be like you being a student and you are working a part-time job and you are using that to count as your hours. No, it should be like an authorization to work. Okay, you are authorized to work in Canada and you are using those hours to build your 1560. So it's not like I'm a student now, I'm working part-time so I can build my hours from that. No, except you are a full-time or a part-time of which you are authorized to work and it is a paid job. It's not a voluntary or a co-op job or anything. Okay, so if you are using foreign experience, it shouldn't be a voluntary work experience. It shouldn't be like your clinicals, your placements, anything. It should be like you working with, maybe being authorized to work. Okay, so maybe I've completed nursing and I am working as a nurse, a registered nurse. Those hours are counted. But if I am in nursing school and I'm doing my placements, my clinicals, it is not counted. Okay, all those things are not counted as the hours for the work experience. So let me just show you how you can deal with the TSO. We move to the next requirement. So what you have to consider doing to check your NOC code is you go here, NOC classification, then your TS categories and example. Okay, so tier 0 is management occupation, so advertising, marketing and public relationship manager, financial managers. Tier 1 is occupation that usually require a university degree, financial advisor, software engineers. Tier 2, we have occupations, diploma programs, apprenticeship training, supervisory occupation, computer network, and web technicians, medical laboratory technologies. All these things falls under tier 2. So pharmacy technician program falls under tier 2. Tier 3 occupation that usually require that's the same thing, bakers, dental assistants, all those people, assistants staff. Tier 4 home child care providers are there. Tier 5, all these people are there. So in case you want to check for like your NOC code and your tiers, you just come here, you just type your occupation. Okay, so let's say I am typing business developer representative. Business. So business development officers, market research and analysis, they are all under like tier 1. Okay, so they are all under tier 1. Maybe you want to check nursing. So nursing is also under tier 1. Nursing coordinators and supervisors, all under tier 1. So any program, any occupation that you are in, just check here to see the NOC for that occupation. So it is not any work experience that might count for your work hours. Okay, so you cannot just do any job to apply. Your job that you are doing should be in the NOC. Your job that you are doing should have a knock code. Okay, so that is about it for the work experience. So one requirement is the work experience for both of them, and you have to consider what you need under the work experience. Then when I'm bringing content on each and every stream, then we will talk about the basic, like the specific requirements. Okay, so the next one that you should consider thinking about is your language proficiency. So before you apply for your permanent residence, either you are moving from back home here or whatever, consider your English test. So what is the English test that you need to apply? Depending on your knock code, I think knock 0 and 1 you need a benchmark of 7, but from knock 3 downwards you need a benchmark of 3. So in case I'm a pharmacy tech and I'm applying, I need a benchmark of 5 because I'm under knock 3. So depending on your knock code, you should expect your like language test to estimate it. Okay, so that is about the language test you should consider. The other requirement might be your education, which is not needed, but it gives you some points. Okay, so it gives you some points, and the points are what we need to be nominated to apply or invited to apply. So you should consider your education. So what about your education? So with your education, is either you are evaluating your credentials. So maybe you are using the federal skills stream. You should make sure that you are evaluating your document, because you should know that your experience are back home. You are from Ghana, you are from Nigeria, you are from UK, whatever that you are, wherever that you are from. Make sure you evaluate your credentials to meet like the Canadian standard. Okay, credential evaluation you should consider. But positively, if your education is in Canada, then you have no worry. So the higher your education, the higher your marks. Okay, so if you are a degree, expect a higher marks than the other diploma. Okay, so our next one will be admissibility. So your admissibility to apply mostly talk about like something like your coming as a study permit, coming through the study permit route, and you are probably considering your medicals. Okay, so like your admissibility talks about a whole lot of things. It probably talks about your criminal status, your medical status, and all these things are all something that you have to check. So it is not actually a specific requirement, but it all gives you the opportunity, the marks, and maybe your eligibility to apply. Okay, so that is one thing you should consider. So basically these are the requirements you should expect, but what you have to know is that your age counts, your spouse's application also counts as well. So let's say you are the higher your age, the lower your marks or your points. So if you are in a pool for a year and you celebrate your birthday, it will bring your score down. Okay, that is one thing you should consider. And if you are applying for the program and your spouse's application is also attached to yours, if your spouse writes English test, it boosts your marks by I think 5 depending on his or her marks. If your spouse has education level maybe in Canada, it gives you a mark, or from back home it also gives you a mark. And also if you have a relative in Canada, it gives you a mark, you can add it to it. So all these things are something that helps boost your score. So one thing you should consider doing is that to help boost your score is that if you are applying, make sure if you have a spouse, you attach your spouse to it. Make sure your spouse evaluates his or her documents if the education is not in Canada. Also write IELT to help your English score to make like to add some marks. If you have a relative in Canada, specify. And if you are in the pool and your marks are still not going well, you have to try as much as possible to build up yourself, maybe getting a job offer to attach to it. If you are from back home and you get a job offer in Canada, it can add up to it. Rewrite your IELT, let your spouse rewrite it, or a IELT. All these things helps boost your mark as well. And you can consider applying for the provincial nomination program. So the provincial nomination program are basically for like shortage occupation, like list jobs. So maybe in Ontario they are short for maybe healthcare professionals, and it is part of the shortage occupation, and you have that skills certificate to apply and everything. You can apply and see if you are nominated. It gives you mark to add into each of the streams. So basically this is the general steps that you should know. So adding to the general steps, please, I would like to talk about the scores. So maybe currently in Ontario they are telling you that this month those who will be nominated for PR, they are expecting your CR scores to be like 456, okay? And you are in the pool and you are 400, you won't be nominated, okay? So their cutoff points will be 456. So you have to always check the months, know their expectation for the score, plan ahead to make sure that if you are not in that like in that level, you try to boost yourself. The marks can rise, the marks can also reduce. So depending on when you enter the pool, it can even come to 300 and you will be eligible. So before you start, there are certain things that you should go through to see your marks, to know the best stream to apply to. Maybe you are in Canada, you are thinking about using the federal route or the Canadian experience route, you have your job offer and everything. This is how you can check. So let's go here. We have to go to find out if you are eligible. You go here. So the first thing you have to consider doing is find out if you are eligible for the program, each of the program. So you have to answer certain questions. So they will ask you your credentials, your IELT level, your education, your spouse's like credentials, your relation in Canada, your job, your experience level, everything they will ask you. So all this will give you points to see your score. So if you try and maybe you are around 400, 300, you know that, oh, these are my expectations. What should I do? Can I enter the pool now? Should I add on to something to make sure I go up? So you can check from here by reading, by answering the questions if you are eligible. So it is there like that. This is it. Nationality, age, language, family member, education, work experience, available funds. If you are moving from back home, you should know that you need a fund to settle in Canada. But if you are here, hey, for you, good. So you just check your eligibility by clicking here. Then you answer those questions next. If you don't, which province or territory do you plan to live in? Ontario, British Columbia, whatever. Then you click next. So after going through this process, it will tell you your marks, then you know which way forward. Okay, so that is how you can check your eligibility. After that, the second option is to check your score. So if you are eligible for one of the express entry program, you have to submit your profile. You will be ranked in the express entry pool using the CR score, as I said. So the CR score is a point-based system we use, assess and score your profile and rank it in the express entry pool. So that is it. To be invited, you need to have a score above the minimum point score of your round of invitations. Use the CR tool to estimate your score. So you can use here to estimate your score as well, your marital status. So all these are things that you can also use to check your score. So the first one is to check your eligibility for either of the programs. Which one will I be eligible? Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skill Stream, Federal Trade Stream. Okay, which one? So this one also tells you your score. Okay, so if you know which stream works best for you, you come and check your score. That is it. Okay, so what do you need next? You get your documents ready. So those are the documents that you might probably need. You get your documents ready. They are all here. If they invite you to apply, they might call you to confirm these documents, your passport, your language test, proof of fund, because when you are applying, you are not proving any documents. You are just writing the details. Okay, so here they can tell you to confirm your documents, get it ready, upload and everything. Police certificate, proof of funds, all these things you have to do. And then you fill out your profile. So you just log in, access all your details, then you submit your profile when they invite you. So your express entry profile is where you give us information about yourself. If you are eligible, we will accept you into our pool of candidates and give you a CR score. Okay, so we would go into that when we are doing it specifically. Get an invitation and apply. So after they give you your CR score and they see your rank, and maybe in that month you are eligible for months, maybe they need 450 and you are 450, 455, hey, probably be called, they will invite you, then you can apply. So we send invitation to apply to the candidates with the highest score in the pool. Okay, if we invite you to apply, you have 60 days to submit your application. Okay, we will process most complete application that have all supporting documents. So if they invite you, they ask you for all the supporting documents, your proof of fund, everything, then in 6 months or less, then you apply through the express entry. Okay, so apply through the express entry when you get the invitation to apply. So guys, these are basically the routes that you should follow. I hope this video has been helpful so far. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to stay with me, comment, and let me see how we are doing. So I know I'm just rushing, but guys, I promise you I'll go much deeper into each session in my next video. So we pick the first one, the second one, the third one, then we look at each individual specific requirements, then we start applying. Guys, I love you all. In support of you, I'll make sure that your dream come to pass if you have a dream of relocating here. So please be with me and stay with me. Try and like this video, please. Like, oh, it's not easy. Please like, help me grow. I love you all. Bye.